welcome to my back step again. As you can see, a bit of snow gathered. I'm going to clear that out of here. But I've also made something. I've made something for the step. Haven't quite decided on where I'm going to put it yet, but I have a good idea. So, let's get cleared up a little bit first, shall we? And then I'll show you what I got made. And since this is a trial run, we'll say, then I've only got a trial run little cook up. I just got a little piece of steak and a little bit of onion. Yeah. And of course, well, no, that's a lie. I have a Mr. Noodles too, so I'm gonna have the Mr. Noodles and a piece of steak today. Well, let's get this snow out of here, shall we? Nothing too serious, that'll do. A little stack of splits is snow covered, that's okay. I kind of want to jump right into this and get this going right away. Beforehand, I do have to show you. Now this is kind of a project that is not made to really last. I know it's not going to last because of the stuff it's made out of, okay? But here it is. See? I built me a little wood stove for my back step. Nothing too fancy, some little drafter holes down in the bottom. I opened the door for the draft. This is what I want to try today. No, I didn't put legs on it. However, my old barbecue has legs on the bottom. Let me show you what I'm talking. I'm going to do this over here because I think I'm going to make a mess. See, okay. Not the leg part that gave Outlaw. Oh, it's froze up like you wouldn't believe. This is just garbage. This will be a nice, stable little platform for my stove for the moment. And I think I'm going to put it right here beside my fire pit. It's got to be cleaned off. This is a bit holy too. It's okay. It just needs the leg portion of it. Glad I got these leather gloves. Not too bad. Now comes the real tricky part. I need to cut this out to stick the pipe out through. I think that'll work. I'm going to put that piece of board back here. Might be able to just tie it on. Gotta get the stovepipe attached again now. Like I said, today is just really a trial run. See how it works. Kind of bent my saw a little bit, look. You see that? She's got a little bit of a curve to her now. It's better. Most all of my stuff that I got caught will actually fit right on in there, which is good. Means I don't have to go messing around trying to cut stuff smaller for the stove. Just wants to make some smaller splits for my where to put in there. So I'm just taking some of the smaller stuff that I got here and splitting. Alright, a little bit of wood here. What a better spot to store it than in my fireplace, huh? Works for me. Now my little box of twigs. I got snowed in. So I'm just going to grab some of the ones that's over there that's just out laying around. They did a bit better. See? They're okay. And before it does, I'm going to make some shavings because I really need I could use a bit of cardboard though, couldn't I? I'll do that. I'll use a bit of cardboard. It's first time using the stove. Not my first time using a stove, but first time using this stove. And I just wants to get it lit to see how it's gonna go. Working with this hole needs to be stogged up there. Now that the stove is burning, I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I put the piece of cardboard up there just to stop the smoke from bailing in through that big hole. You can see it's still coming in there and traveling along, that's fine. Mostly it's leaking out of here, which is fine. It's all incredibly hot now, which is supposed to be doing. I do have to fix up my pipe a little bit. Oh look, it's kind of separated from the stove a little there. And that's not the way I has it. Gloves on. Hot. Even with the gloves, it's super hot. The stove is burning really good in there now. Look at that. Close the door a bit and see how well it does. Keep the door closed a bit. Keep the airflow down. I don't have a damper put in this stove. That's the only thing. I didn't put a damper in the flue of the stove. So the door is the damper, and I've got the little breathers in the bottom, so if I close it all the way, it should still get enough airflow to keep it smoldering. I'm going to leave it closed for a minute and just see what happens before it does anything else. Because like I said, it's all a test. And while I'm testing that, I'm going to work on fixing up some of this stuff. can do with that. Oh, it's changing colour with the heat. I gotta check it and make sure it's not. Yeah, it's still solid. I mean, it is changing colour. I can smell it too, so. Oh no. I'll move in under this now. Now let's work on the other side. The stove is throwing off quite a bit of heat. I'm even getting heat coming in through that hole now, not smoke, so that's good. My goal here now is to make myself something like a little hot tent. A little bit darker. It's a little bit darker than normal, but I can already start to feel some heat building up, and if I all the seams in these boards, I'm gonna figure something out for them too, because I think they're letting in a lot of snow. Try putting a couple of these in, because it's burning super good in there now. Still got some splits to throw in with them. Have a look at this. Let me take you off of here so you can see in my stove. Not bad for completely homemade. I didn't take you through the steps of building it. I probably should have, but when I went to do it, I just wanted to get it done. And it's not always, you know, it's hard sometimes filming and trying to work on a project. I don't know if I'm going to leave this out here. I might. Simply because I'm not expecting to get any more than this year out of it. Like I said, it's made out of a cheap metal. There's nothing. Can anybody tell me what the metal is that it's made of? There's a question for you. Have a good look at it and tell me if you know. Now it is riveted with rivets. I'll give you that. But what is the metal? This entire stove. If there's a gap there, I'm not going to touch it because it's hot. The entire stove is made out of a specific type of metal. Leave your guess in the comments below. And maybe somebody knows it right away. Yeah. Well, I'm going to get some good metal and make a decent little stove out here, I think. Yeah, that's throwing some decent little bit of heat. I think if I could bear up these gaps on this wall over here, it will be even better. It's getting too hot there. And here, it melted off the rope. Let's pull it in. So, my next upgrade is going to be extending that flue outward. Yep. I burned my finger on a grommet. Actually on a piece of rope. I think even with the flue extended outward, that's still going to get hot there though. Well, but it's working good. Something to be said about having a stove jack, what? I'm going to get on a cup of tea now. The stuff all around the immediate area here is starting to melt, even on the ground. See it all? Just from the heat of the stove. So I'm going to try my pot on the top of the stove now. See how long it takes to boil. I'm going to do about a half a pot of water just to see. See, what I don't use, I'm going to use for my noodles. And because it's a stove, I don't need to worry right away about my cover on. However, I am, because having the cover on it helps it boil quicker. This fork should be in here too. Digging through the dry bag, blind. Ta-da! Yeah, little stove is working great. A longer flue would be nice. Chimney flue. So many things have so many different names. People call them different things everywhere you go. It's starting to warm up in here. Like, I'm not cold at all. I'm not overly warm, but I am not cold. I'm getting a lot of heat loss through here though, I think. This wall. That could be a project for the summer. What I might do is get some strips of wood and cover each one of those gaps. Now there's no idea. Just nail them on there. Same thing along the bottom of it where the big holes are. Because there's definitely snow blowing in through the big holes. That's where a lot of this came from, I'd say. I do like the stove. It stops all of the smoke from gathering in here. Yeah. Glad to have y'all along on my back step. My subscriber count's gone up. It's gone up to about 140. That's awesome. Love every one of you. Keep going, guys. Keep going. Like I said, Christmas is around the corner. And this is actually going to be my Christmas video. Believe it or not. Merry Christmas. Now, not everybody says Merry Christmas. Some people say Happy Holidays. Some people don't say anything at all. I say Merry Christmas. That's me. I still got some stuff to fix up out here. This wall over here I'm looking at. Over this way. There's a big gap between the fence and the tarp. That's nothing, no. I just put in a screw or a nail or something to tie it to. I'm warm enough here now to be comfortable. There's no wind. I'm getting a little bit of radiant heat from the stove. Start the stove up. Close the door. My pot's starting to get some little bubbles in it. I don't think you'll see them yet. Not from there. Just starting. You can feel the heat through the pot though. Starting to feel the heat through the stove. It's always hotter back next to the stove pipe. So keep that in mind when you're doing stuff. Because it sucks up, goes out through here. Now I'm getting radiant heat from the stove pipe, which is a really good thing. So all the way, especially where I got that kink in it. There's radiant heat coming out of that. So it's heating up here a bit. And even with the tops open, still when you put your hand up you can feel the heat up higher. So I said if I seal this up, I'd have me a nice little my back step cabin. Just for the winter. Summertime I'll open all this back up again. Well, this anyway, and this side over here. Because I would rather have it opened and the air going through. And then I'll be using my fire pit again more in the summertime. Stove is going to be a wintertime thing, guys. And that's for this year anyway. Well, yeah, I think the stove is a little hot now. hot, starting to steam, starting to bubble a little. Does take longer than cooking with the fire, like I said, but it is doing the job. And hey, I'm kind of out here to sit back and relax anyway, right guys? My legs are toasty warm from that stove, that's for sure. My ferro rod is not faring too well being left out. I wanted to try this to see how well it would hold up being left out, and it's not holding up, it's kind of corroding. Let's see if it's still going to throw a spark good. Still throws a spark. So that's okay. Even though it's been left out and everything. I think my pot's boiling. It's boiling good. So how good is that? And the handles are not hot. Well, the stove works thus far. I got some little tweaks I want to do. As always, that's always the way it happens out here on my back step, is it not? I do something, then I do it, and then I do it over and over and over again. Do it until you get it done right. It's all practice. I'm going to put this very substantial piece of wood in there now. And let that burn. That was a big piece of wood. Let's see how it goes. Sit back, have my tea. I'm going to keep the cover off my tea, it's too hot. Too hot to handle. First cup of tea on the wood stove. The rivets I bought. And the hinge. $5. Pretty cheap stove. That pot's staying warm there, that's good. I want that water to stay a bit warm. And in fact, I'm going to add the rest of my water to it for my Mr. Noodles. And that can... yeah, okay, that's about a half a pot. That's probably more than I need for my Mr. Noodles. But I got it on the outside of the stove, so it's just warming. And I got my steak cooling off in the snow. Now, guys, I'm gonna do a shout out to one of the guys who really made a big impression on me when I started this. Not because I was watching him, because at the time I wasn't. He reached out to me, and we became friends. We've never met, but we became friends through talking back and forth, like you do. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Here's to you, Jack. Outlaw Camper. You really made an impression on me. Reached out to me. You're a good buddy. Keep up the great work, my friend. There will be a link in the description. If you're not watching Jack, head on over and check out his videos. Love Outlaw Camper. I'd love to get the opportunity to get down and see him in the suburbs of New York. Yep. Merry Christmas, buddy. Have a good one. Wish nothing but the best for you. He's up to almost 700 subscribers now. Way to go, buddy. If not, he's surpassed it. Those bikes always come by when I'm doing my videos. Always. Yeah, look, that big one. Oh, the big one is taking up all the space in there. The flames are slowly starting to come up around. But there's a really good bit of coals underneath it. So that would have been a better piece to put in while I'm doing stuff. Or if I had this sealed up and it's holding the heat really well. Keep that in mind for next time. I'll make smaller pieces to go in there. But it's starting to burn. I can see flames licking up around it from here now. Well, I can tell you with absolute certainty, when the stove dies down, you can feel a noticeable drop in the temperature in this little thing. So, need some work to seal up some gaps there around. Definitely. I might eventually replace this whole side with a new set of tarps. Maybe get 2 small ones. The gate's fine, but the upper part in this side net, get a couple of new tarps for there, and maybe like I said, fill in all these little gaps over here. It'll make a big difference in the under gaps. The underside. Yep. So that's a project. Might not be ready this year, probably be ready for next year. But we'll stoke the stove up. It gets nice and toasty warm in here. And then I sit back and relax. And the fire dies. And then I gets cold. I'm gonna get up and stoke the fire again. Hey, that's the way of things, right? And for my cooking today, my clean up egg. Oh, I'm gonna For my cooking today, oh no, I've got my little Coleman campsite. If you've been following my videos, you've seen this before. If you haven't seen it before, just go back a few videos. Well, go back to my beginning videos. It's in there. Where it has a cup, pot, cover for the pot, a plate, and a frying pan. I'm not going to use the rest of this. I'm just going to use my frying pan today. Let's get that on the stove and get it warming up. I don't know how my water has been doing. I never checked that in a bit. Well, it's bubbling, so snow is falling off the shovel. Now I'm not going to need all of that water. So what I'm going to do, some water in my cup. Leave it down there. And some noodles, vegetable, and some butter. Got a little piece of steak. And a little bit of onion that was left over. Of course, my knife. The other good thing about having this little Coleman set is if I needed to, I could use the other, the plate as a lid for this frying pan. Also, I could use it for a little cutting board if I had to cut up some stuff. Which I don't. Now my steak is in a little Ziploc baggie. It's this bag I'm using for my garbage. Now that I've got my water boiling, my noodles are probably not going to take as long as it. Can you see right here? Salt and pepper. Onion and garlic. Up in there. Not even sure what that piece of meat is. It's just meat in a bag. I have a tendency to throw little pieces of leftover meat in the bag. Usually I'll use it for soups. Something along those lines. So today, it's getting used for my meal. Here's a piece of blade. It's gonna be a good meal. What do you think, guys? Do you like the stove or would you rather the fireplace? I'm kind of in between. I like the fact that it don't get smoky here at all with the stove. But I do get a lot more warm from the fireplace. The rocks heat up and give off a lot of residual heat. I don't know. Maybe if this was sealed up more like a cabinet, it would be better. Maybe I'll only get a couple of uses out of it and it'll all fall apart. That's always a possibility too. Frying pan is certainly frying. Noodles are being a noodle. Onions down, get in there, fry up. I've also got a nice cold Pepsi to go with my supper, my dinner. So, listening. Everybody's welcome on my back step. Everybody. No one turned away from my back step. There is some monster heat coming out of there now. Oh my god. Let's get a look. I just wanted to put that out there for you guys. You know, y'all know you're all welcome on my back step. Look at this. That's a log I just threw in there. It's already burning up. I must say, I am liking my little stove. Worked out really well. Maybe a little wider? Maybe? Would have been able to fit another couple things on, but I don't need to fit another couple of things under, really, if you think about it. It's only me. And you guys. And you guys are not putting that on my stove. Not unless it comes for a visit. But, no, it's worked out pretty good, I must say. Here comes the little chill again. The fire died down a little bit. Now I hard to tell my fire died down a bit either because my pan stopped frying. This is very enjoyable though, guys. It is. And as much as I don't need this wall up over here today, I just wanted to see if it would hold in any amount of heat out here right now as it is. And it really doesn't. I was half expecting it not to. Just because you know, there's nothing sealed up here. It's all just basically a tarp. It's thrown over the step. Noodles are done. Swap them out. I have some of these now while this is my steak is frying out in there a little bit. Doesn't have to fry out a lot, just a little bit. Let's have some of these noodles. Hot. Steak. It's cooked enough. Oh, yeah, it's starting to overcook. Get that off of there. Give a little bit of onion on it. Definitely tastes more like a if you fried it on your pan in your house. Not the woodsy flavour, like an open fire. Still tasty. Doing it this way is where having spices comes in handy. Now I just put onions, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper. I'm thinking about making my own little set of spice to have for stuff like this. The stove is going to go now. So yeah, I'm going to eat this, guys, and I'll get back with you in a little bit when I'm done. We're almost done. It's always nice to have something warm in your belly. Especially on a cold day. Combine that with having the wood stove. No noodle left behind. excuse me. Polish off this bit of steak I got left now. Start that boiling. Because while I'm having my Pepsi, I'm going to do my cleanup. Alrighty. Let's get cleaning up, shall we? Need my little dry cloth. Soap. And a whole towel. My soap does not want to open. Never wants to open. Needs a little bit. I'll just do with the bag. Blows in my mind. Now for this set to go together properly, the cover got to go in. This stuff has to go upside down. Otherwise, it doesn't close. Pay attention to these when you take them apart. Otherwise you could be struggling to get them back together. Pour that right out in front of the stove. This, I'm not going to burn this today, I'm just going to put it in the garbage. Hold on. Now it's just to put this away. Pull my pot in. And put my dry bag back in. Love this dry bag for this stuff. It's great too because if I'm down in the woods I can put a string through these loops and tie this up in a tree. And that way I don't need to worry about coyotes or anything coming along and getting at my food bag. Look, I forgot to put that in. Again. It's okay. I'm just going to put it in the backpack. I gotta go for my kid anyway because I need to replenish some stuff. Garbage in, my water. Let's have a look at the fireplace, shall we? Oh, this. Look at that. What's going on there? Sitting here with the door open, my leg is starting to burn from the heat coming out. But that's good. Well guys, how did you enjoy the stove? So let me know what you think in the comments below. Should I keep the stove and keep using it? Or should I go back to my fire pit? I'll let you guys decide. I do like the stove, to my opinion. Well now, the stove is practically out. I've just been sat here with the door open, raking the coals around. Letting it burn down. Letting the heat out at me. I must say the stove worked really well. For the first time. See how it holds up over time now. I'm not going to bring it in. It's way too hot. I'll take this opportunity. First, judging my thermometer, this was froze solid. Now it's liquid. Almost. And now it fell out. There we go. Anyway, I'd like to take this opportunity to say like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to spread the word, guys. I want to try to get my subscriber count up as high as I can. And I appreciate all you guys that are watching. Appreciate all you guys that have subscribed. There'll be more stuff coming up like this where I either make something or I've got something a little different to do. I'm going to be doing some work on this out here, trying to winterize it a little more so it's not so cold. But the most important thing, guys, is to be safe and have fun. And thanks for watching. And I'll get back with you guys on the next one. And don't forget, have yourselves a good Christmas.